Have you ever felt like you just don't belong? That feeling when you walk into a new place and all eyes are on you, and not in a good way. Well, let me tell you a story about a little boy named Leo who felt exactly that. It all started at a neighborhood barbecue. The sun was shining, burgers were sizzling on the grill, and kids were running around laughing. It seemed like the perfect summer day, but for Leo, it felt like a nightmare was about to begin. Leo had just moved into the neighborhood, and this was his first big community event. He was a little shy, clutching a plate with a slightly wobbly hot dog, looking for a friendly face. That's when he saw a group of kids his age gathered near the big oak tree. Taking a deep breath, he walked over, hoping to make some new friends. But before he could even say hi, a boy, a bit bigger than the others, stepped forward. Let's call him Max. Max looked Leo up and down with a smirk. "Look what we have here," Max said loudly, making sure everyone could hear. "You're the new kid, right? You don't belong here." A few of the other kids giggled nervously. Leo's face turned red. He felt a lump form in his throat. He just wanted to disappear. He tried to smile, but it came out as a weak wobble. I just moved in down the street," he stammered. Max just laughed, a short, sharp sound that felt like a jab. "Yeah, well, this is our spot. Go find somewhere else to hang out." The other kids, following Max's lead, turned their backs on Leo. The laughter echoed in his ears as he slowly walked away, his heart feeling as heavy as a stone. He found an empty picnic table at the edge of the yard and sat down, hiding his face so no one would see the tears welling up in his eyes. As Leo sat there, all alone, a wave of fear washed over him. He watched the other kids playing tag, their joyful shouts a painful reminder of his own loneliness. He thought about the long summer ahead. Would it always be like this? Would he ever get to play? Would he ever have friends here? The delicious smell of the barbecue suddenly made him feel sick. He didn't want to be there anymore. He just wanted to go home to his old neighborhood, where he had friends, where he belonged. Every time he looked over at the group of kids, he'd see Max looking his way, whispering to the others, followed by more laughter. It was like they had built an invisible wall around themselves, and he was on the outside, looking in. He felt so small, so insignificant. Just as he was about to get up and tell his parents he wanted to leave, his Uncle Ben came over and sat down beside him. Uncle Ben had a kind face and a warm smile. He noticed Leo's sad expression right away. "Hey, champ, what's wrong? You look like you've lost your best friend." Leo couldn't hold it in anymore. He told his uncle everything about Max, the teasing, and the horrible feeling of being left out. Uncle Ben listened patiently, not saying a word until Leo had finished. Then, he put a comforting arm around Leo's shoulder. He didn't tell Leo to be tough or to fight back. Instead, he said something that Leo would never forget. He said, "Leo, I know it hurts, but I want you to remember something very important. It's from the Bible, in Matthew 28-20. Jesus says, 'And surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age.' That means right now, even when you feel totally alone, he is right here with you." Uncle Ben pointed to the empty swing set nearby. "Why don't you go over there for a minute? Just sit and remember that promise. You're not alone. Talk to him about it." Leo wasn't so sure, but he trusted his uncle. He walked over to the swings and sat down, his feet dragging in the dirt. He closed his eyes and whispered a little prayer. It wasn't fancy. He just said, "Lord, Uncle Ben says you're with me. If you are, please help me. I don't know what to do. Help me to be kind, even though Max was mean." As he sat there, a strange sense of peace settled over him. The fear didn't completely vanish, but it wasn't so overwhelming anymore. He felt a little bit braver, a little bit stronger. He knew what he had to do. With a newfound determination, Leo got off the swing. He walked back to the food table, grabbed a fresh paper plate, and put one of the biggest, juiciest burgers on it, complete with cheese and all the fixings. Then, he took a deep breath and walked straight over to Max, who was now standing alone by the drink station. Max looked up, a scowl on his face, ready for another confrontation. But before Max could say a word, Leo held out the plate. "Hey," Leo said, his voice steady. "I saw you didn't have a burger. You want this one?" He then added, "Do you? Do you want to play catch with me later?" Max was completely stunned. He just stared at the burger, then at Leo, his mouth slightly open. He had been expecting anger, or maybe tears, but not this. Not kindness. A moment of silence passed between them. Then, slowly, Max reached out and took the plate. "UH." "Thanks," he mumbled, looking down at the ground. He looked back up at Leo, and for the first time, Leo didn't see a bully. He saw a kid who just looked surprised. And maybe a little bit sorry. "Yeah," Max said, a bit more clearly this time. "Yeah, I'd like to play catch." A small smile started to form on his face. "I'm sorry," he added quietly. About before. For the rest of the afternoon, Leo and Max were inseparable. They threw a football back and forth. They chased each other in a game of tag with the other kids, and they sat together, munching on their burgers, talking about video games and their favorite superheroes. The other kids, seeing Max's change of heart, quickly welcomed Leo into the group. The laughter Leo heard now wasn't at his expense. It was with him. He had gone from being the lonely outsider to being part of the fun. It was amazing how one act of kindness, one brave step, had changed everything. He didn't just find a playmate, he found a friend. So, what can we take away from Leo's story? It's a powerful reminder that even when you face teasing or feel like an outcast, you're never truly alone. God is always with you, giving you the strength to be brave and the courage to be kind. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do in a difficult situation is not to fight fire with fire, but to respond with unexpected kindness. You never know that one small act could be the very thing that changes someone's heart and turns a bully into a buddy. Just like Leo's barbecue buddy, you might find an amazing friend where you least expect one. So next time you feel afraid or alone, remember God is with you. Be brave, be kind, and watch how things can change. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to spread a little kindness today. See you next time!